Good morning, everyone. I'm Tongxin. It is lovely to see you all here today. Today, I'll be sharing some information about John in our classroom and how we can work together to support his learning and development. John is a 4-year-old boy who enjoys drawing, reading, and listening to stories. Recently, he has demonstrated a strong and growing understanding of symbols during various activities. John presents with social and emotional challenges associated with sensory processing difficulties and anxiety, which impacts his engagement and participation in the learning environment. During drop-off times, John often appears anxious and shows reluctance to separate from his mother. Additionally, when educators introduce new activities, he may become upset and refuse to participate. These challenges affect John's ability to assess learning experience constantly, particularly during transitions and unpredictable situations. To support his individual learning needs, we implement supplementary adjustments, including modified teaching strategies, the use of clear and consistent cues, and structured routines. John also benefits from additional processing time and individualized support to help him prepare for and engage in daily activities. According to the Disability Discrimination Act 1992 and the Disability Standards for Education 2005, all students have the right to access and participate in education on the same basis as their peers. With this in mind, our approaches focus on creating an inclusive and supportive learning environment for John. To begin with, inclusion means recognizing and responding to the diverse needs, strengths, and identities of all students so that everyone feels welcome, valued, and engaged in classroom. To support this in practice, we use the Universal Design for Learning (UDL) framework to design flexible and accessible learning experiences from the outset rather than making adjustments afterwards. This allowed us to support different ways of engagement, representation, and expression. For example, in terms of the physical environment, we provide a low stimulation space in the classroom. This includes soft cushions, storybooks, and drawing materials that John enjoys. This space gives him a safe and familiar option to use when he feels anxious or overwhelmed, helping him to regulate his emotions. In addition, we adopt a strengthened space approach to support John's engagement and confidence. By recognizing his efforts and progress, we encourage a growth mindset and help him to see challenges as opportunities for learning. For instance, we can visually track his achievements, such as participating in group activities or manage separation at drop-off, and gently remind him of his progress when he feels frustrated. Furthermore, we organize classroom activities and assessments in flexible ways to support John's participation and expression. For example, during group discussions, he can first express his ideas through drawing and then share them with a familiar educator individually. He can then present his ideas to peers with educator support. This approach also ensures that John can demonstrate his learning in ways that align with his strengths and needs. Overall, through these holistic and flexible approaches, we aim to reduce barrier and ensure that John can actively participate and succeed alongside his peers on the same basis. To support John's participation in a group activity about animals, we implement a range of inclusive strategies that respond to his learning needs, including support with processing new activities, individual guidance, and sensory regulation. Firstly, we use direct instruction to support his understanding and communication. Direct teaching provides clear, structured guidance, which is particularly beneficial for students who need additional support to process new information. For example, if John finds it difficult to say that a puppy is his spirit animal, the educator can provide visual word cards to help him recall key vocabulary. The educator can then model a complete sentence, such as "I like puppy," and encourage John to imitate it. In addition, we apply behavior support strategies such as scaffolding and task analyze. These approaches break down learning into manageable steps and gradually build independence. Before the activity, the educator can use visual supports to outline each step of the task, help John to understand what to expect. Breathing exercises can also be practiced to support emotional regulation and reduce anxiety during transitions. During the activity, the educator initially participates alongside John and then gradually encourage more independent involvement. Furthermore, effective teacher communication strategies are essential. Providing extra wait time allows John sufficient time to process questions and respond. For example, after asking, "What is your favorite animal?" the educator paused to give John time to think before answering the question. Finally, we incorporated assistive technology to address John's sensory needs. Educators can position him on the edge of the group and provide noise-canceling headphones to minimize auditory input, allowing him to remain engaged in the activity more comfortably. Our center provides supplementary adjustments according to John's strengths and needs throughout the day. We use visual support such as vocabulary cards and communication booklets to support his learning. During drop-off, a familiar educator used a visual timetable to explain the day's routine, helping reduce anxiety. We also include breathing exercise in his routine to support emotional regulation. John is given extra time and gentle preparation before transitions to help him manage changes. Additionally, assistive tools such as noise-canceling headphones are used to reduce sensory overload. These adjustments create a predictable and supportive environment that enables John to assess learning effectively. Collaboration and consultation are essential in supporting John's participation. We work closely with key stakeholders, including John, his mother, a community psychologist, the center director, and other educators. Each plays an important role in supporting his learning and well-being. By consulting with John and his mother, we gain insight into his preference, strengths, and triggers. This helps ensure consistency between home and the learning environment. Professional input provides a deeper understanding of his sensory and learning needs, allowing us to implement appropriate strategies. Within the center, ongoing communication ensures all educators use consistent approaches. Through consultation, we are also able to understand John's current learning levels and set appropriate goals while maintaining high expectations. Educators play a key role by reflecting on feedback and continuously improving their teaching. Using the teaching and learning cycle, assessing, planning, implementing, and reviewing, we can modify learning experience to meet John's needs. Finally, clear roles and responsibilities among team members ensure a coordinated and consistent approach, helping John feel supported and included. Overall, through inclusive practice, target strategies, and strong cooperation, we aim to create a supportive environment where John can confidently assess, participate, and succeed in learning alongside his peers.